friends, and welcome to another installment of The Science of Music. Today we will learn about the mediums of sound waves. If you haven't watched the past two videos, please make sure you go back and watch the video on the ear and the video on how sound waves work, because we will be referencing them both today. So today, like I said, we will be learning about the mediums of sound waves so that you can understand how mediums are important to the creation of sound waves, so that we can see how instruments use sound waves. You know you have it when you can connect the science of how we hear to sound waves and how sound waves will eventually travel. For today's class, you will need some paper or Google Doc, as well as your mediums activity worksheet, which was sent in Monday's email. So this is a chart that we're all pretty familiar with. If we hear something really quietly or we're whispering, our sound waves will be super duper close to our line, for our graph, to our X. But if we're talking super duper loud, it's going to be super duper far away from our constant of our X on our graph. And if we have a really deep pitch, it's going to be super spread out. But if we're talking really high, or we have a really high voice, then it's going to be really close together. So we're just going to do a quick little recap. So we just went over our graph. So a sound wave is a form of energy made by vibrations. And when an object vibrates, it causes the air particles around it to move all crazy. And these particles bump into the other particles that are close together. So they're going like, all these air particles are all going like this. And it's causing these awesome vibrations, which cause sound waves that keep going until they run out of energy. So when we saw in our tuning fork video, of all of these air particles were going all like this by the tuning fork, and all of a sudden the pitch stopped because the air particles started slowing down, and then the pitch just got so quiet that it didn't even exist. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to feel sound waves for ourselves. So what I would like you to do is connect your index finger to your middle finger, just like this. You could do it. You don't have to hold your thumb, but you can use these two fingers, and say the word ah, like when you're at the dentist, as loud as you can, and then try to do it as soft as you can. So do it after. So I'm gonna do it, and then you're gonna do it after me. So we go ah. Great job. Now we're gonna go ah. Great job. So you can hear the sound, right? But with these two fingers, what I want you to do, I want you to put them on the side of your neck, close to like where you would if you were to go to feel your heartbeat. You can put it really anywhere. I like to have my middle finger at the bottom of my jaw and just talk for a little bit. See if you can feel the vibrations. Great job. So now I want you to do the same activity. Don't push too hard, and see if you can feel any vibrations. So I'm gonna go first. Ah. Great job. What about now? Ah. Great job. So not only do you physically hear the sound, but you actually feel movement inside of your throat. When you say ah, your vocal cords are vibrating, and they're causing the air particles around you to vibrate. And that's what's producing the sound. And then all of those vibrations are going in through your ear, and it's disrupting your eardrum, and it's vibrating, and it's causing your cochlear to move, and it's causing all these awesome things super duper fast, and then you can hear the sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a mediums activity. So we found that the sound vibrations are able to travel through all of these different forms. They're able to travel through gases and liquids and solids, and these three forms, a gas, a liquid, and a solid, are all called mediums. And sound cannot travel through a vacuum. So sound is transmitted through gases and plasmas and liquids as longitude waves. So kind of like these waves that we're seeing on here, they cannot be straight lines. That's pretty much everything that I just said, the short version. They cannot be straight lines. They have to be wiggly lines. And they have to be graphed similar to these kinds of lines. They can't be diagonal, and they can't be horizontal. They have vertical. They have to be horizontal. And so that we can show how the air is vibrating. When you hear a high note, when you hear a low note, when you hear something loud, when you hear something soft. So, putting all of that all together, what we're going to do is we're going to see using different mediums if you can still feel your vocal cords vibrating. So you can use the mediums activity sheet, or what you can do is you can just write it down on your piece of paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a control. So what we just did was our control. What you did was when you put your fingers on your neck and you said, ah, you had no medium because that's right on the bare part of your neck. Perfect. And then you're going to write your findings. So I feel a tickling sensation. It's a little warm and it's a very clear vibration. Write down. So what I did was I made a T. And it says medium, and it says findings, and then I wrote what my medium was, and then I wrote all of my findings. So all the things that I just read to you is exactly what I wrote down. And now I'm going to draw a really nice big line through it, just to keep it like as a chart, keep it all charted together. What I would like you to do is use 2 to 3 mediums. You can use your hair if you have long hair. You can use your shirt. You can put a pencil here or a pen, see if you can feel it through the pen. You can put a piece of paper, you can put anything next to you. Please keep it safe. And record what you find. Can you still find the vocal vibrations? Try it if you do it with a higher pitch or with a lower pitch, and record your findings. Great job. I hope you guys wrote everything that you found down. And for my friends that are using the digital version, hope you typed it all out. So I did it all too. So I used my sweatshirt. And I found that I could only feel the vibrations if I used a higher pitch. And that's just because of it could be the material that it's made out of, or it could be the way that my vocal cords vibrate, or it could have even been my placement, but that's the findings that I had. I used my piece of paper, and it was very similar to when I would only put my fingers there, and that's mostly because of how thin the piece of paper is. And then I tried using my pencil, but I couldn't feel it at all. Maybe I put my fingers on the wrong spot, or maybe it's just because it wouldn't travel through the pencil. And that's okay. So do the medium activity, and write down your findings, whether you wrote it down like this or you used the digital copy that was sent on Monday's email, and make sure you send that to me. But now what I want us to do is I want us to take it a whole step further. So right now we're in this box. We're going to transition all the way into this box. So we see our graph. The graph's been our background the entire time. So we know if we do something quiet, this is what the graph will look like. If we have a deep pitch, high pitch, or it's super duper loud. We just did this awesome medium activity, right? Taking it a step further. We have no medium, right? And you can go along if you need to remind yourself of what it sounded like, so you can redo it all. So if I say ah, that was pretty loud. My voice is pretty deep. So underneath no medium, see if you could draw a graph using all 4 around us, and you can do loud or soft, and see if you can graft what you think the pitch would look like. So for me, I talk deep, so it's going to be a little bit wider, and I was pretty loud, so for me this is the top of my graft. It's pretty close to the top. See what you can do when you have no medium and then your other variables. Pause the video and complete that. Great job. I'm sure you guys did great. I hope your graphs look great. Like I said, you can use any color pencil, you can use markers, you can do it all digitally because we sent on Monday's email a digital copy of all of this. So for me, I did my graphs too. So with my sweatshirt, I could only hear it if it was a higher pitch, but it was still kind of quiet, and that's because like the cloth and stuff. With the paper, it was very similar to my no medium. It was a little bit softer, so it's a little bit closer to our constant. And then with our pencil, that's my version of my graph, because I'm sure there was some sort of movement, but unfortunately, I couldn't feel it at all. But I knew I was doing it because I heard with my ears the that was happening. I just didn't feel the vibrations. So I know that there's something happening, but it's kind of hard to graph what was happening. So make sure that you send that to me, send that to my email, and it was an awesome medium activity. And if you have any ideas of what other kind of mediums we could use, send me an email and we can all do it together on our next video. So I hope you guys send me in everything that you did, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.